good, levelers? Welcome back to the High Level Chronicles, your one-stop pod for all things video games, cannabis, and entertainment. Served up with a fat side of vibes, you know what I'm saying? I'm your host, Chris, the guy who's probably smoked more strains than you've got save files and riding shotgun tonight. My co-host, as always, the man who thinks Pong is still the pinnacle of gaming. Paul, what is up?
Hey, man, don't shit on Pong. What's wrong with that?
Hey, I'm not shitting on it. Fair, fair. I'm not saying nothing, not shitting on it one bit.
That is the first game that my dad ever played, and he's like, "Yo, it was pretty cool back in the day."
I liked it. I still play. You know what's funny? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say something. All right. Before we get it, we'll come back to this Pong thing. Whatever, man. We
You
got
brought
no
it up.
guests tonight. It's just me and you. We're vibing out.
We just chilling.
We're bouncing around our own minds, whatever. Which that just made me think. I want to ask about. So I was to bring up, like, maybe think of something Pong. But we're keeping it loose. We're keeping it real. Keeping it leveled up. Speaking of which, man, let's just get it out the way. Let's start with leveled up. You know what I'm saying? The time again, leveled up. It's the part where we ask you,
Sure.
beautiful baked brains. You tell us what you've been leveling up on this week, whether it's what strain you're puffing, what games got you hooked, what show or movie's been blowing your mind. Paul, what are the levelers out there saying tonight?
All right, we got a few for this evening. We got at Magpie Joe says, "All right, so I've been on this hybrid strain Blue Dream classic, right? For sure." Magpie hits like a smooth combo, mellow body buzz, but my brain's still sharp enough to clutch a win in Apex Legends. Been grinding ranked mode all week, meaning Mirage, because I love bamboozling fools. That's quite a mouthful right there.
I'd say he's that Blue Dream. Why he's writing it?
That's true.
I ain't played Apex Legends in a
Bamboozling
minute, man.
fools.
That's been a while. Not since it first came out. I couldn't get into it.
Missed that one, yeah. Also have Jake P says leveled up on some smooth cherry gelato this week, playing Hollow Knight. That game is brutal, but the weed keeps me zen for a long sesh.
Nice.
What is Hollow Knight?
I wanted to try Hollow Knight. I never played it. That came out before the pandemic. I don't remember when. Maybe 2018. It's just it's a horror style game. There's all kinds of weird. It's like, I don't know. It's an indie game. It's not your, not your Elden Ring or whatever.
Sure. And then we have Bamlu Kaladi. Yeah, Bamlu Kaladi 98 says, "What's up, fellas? Been dabbing on some shit called Monkey Dick." Yeah, I know. The name is wild, but the high is fucking legit. Just finished up the latest episode of The Studio, and that strain has me laughing so hard.
Damn.
I almost puked. You've been watching The Studio?
I haven't.
We're
waiting for it to, how do we do? We wait for shit to end and then binge it all. But yeah, I definitely want to watch it. That's the Seth Rogen and the Breaking Bad guy, right? Is that the guy from Breaking Bad?
Bryan Cranston is in it. He's in the first episode, but I don't think he has a main role.
Well, okay. What I saw had him in it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's so. I listened to an interview that he did about it, and he's like, I guess he talked to a lot of studio execs, and sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, like them giving them information about how to, how his character should be. So, yeah, I've seen probably 3 episodes so far. It's a little cringeworthy, but also pretty good. It's just some of the stuff that goes in. A lot of actors play themselves and stuff.
Cringeworthy is in how? Because I know Seth Rogen.
Not give too much away, but there is a scene where there is like this visionary female director, and they're doing this, amazing scene, and he's like, "Oh, I want to be part of like watching you guys shoot it," and he keeps getting in the way. He's wearing extra costumes and it's just like he's just like, "Oh, this is so important," and then like it's like over and over again. There's always something that he's doing to like fuck up the scene. Nice. And it's just, and I was like I had to cover my face. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's so but it was so funny. It's something I recommend. I've only
sounds definitely like something I'd like for sure.
Yeah, no, star-studded, just great. Yeah, I also had a few things. I've been watching some Devil May Cry.
Yeah, how's that on
Netflix series?
Only
8 episodes, very bite-sized. I thought it was going to be just a fun, kind of mindless, let's kill demons kind of show.
Okay.
And then it had no right to make me feel feelings in the middle of it, of just like some real deep shit they get into, and I was like, God damn it. I was looking for something just a little fun, and then they're bringing like genocide into it, and I was like, "Ugh."
Shit.
But I recommend it. 8 episodes the first season. Looks like they may be coming back for a second one.
Yeah, I've heard
It's
good
an
things about
anime,
it.
but
Yep,
very good. Yeah,
I've heard good
I
things.
I enjoyed it.
Well, levelers,
You could
hit us
probably
up.
binge the whole thing in like 4 hours.
highlevelchronicles.com or on social. HLC Podcast 420. Let us know what you're leveling up on. Maybe you'll be featured on the next episode. You were watching Devil May Cry. I'm sitting here laughing, getting the cringe already shit I've been watching while watching the new season of The White Lotus. We're catching it, now there's a bruh. That show is why I love White Lotus. You watch that show?
My wife will have it on while I'm around.
Dude, that show is
And like
so
all I
funny.
think 3 seasons. It's always just, and then like she'll watch it sometimes like without me, and she's like, "Oh my god, the craziest shit's going on White Lotus," and then she'll tell me about it. So I feel like I'm at least acquainted with the series. It always does look like just a crazy trip.
It is definitely a wild ride every season for sure, and this one's no different. I mean,
Walton
it's
Goggins, man, he's in Fallout, and now he's in White Lotus. I was like, oh, I know that guy. He's in the Fallout show.
yeah, it's a good show. But I've been smoking at night. We've been smoking on this strain I picked up called MIA, and that's all I got. I don't know anything else about it. This is called MIA. All I know is it's an indica based strain, and it'll make your mind feel like it's
Make it go
MIA.
MIA.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. And I think I also told you the other day that I've been playing this new game called The Headliners, and I don't know, that game's got me.
Yeah, you
It's
mentioned
got
it.
me.
Yeah.
It's got me hooked lately, and it's so for anybody that doesn't know, The Headliners it's like a co-op horror game released just this year, like on my birthday this year, actually January 30th, my birthday. So I figured I had to try it since it was released then. But this game, you can get up to like 3 friends in each thing. You're playing journalists and you explore a city that's like overrun by like all these deadly creatures and entities, shit, and your goal is to capture great pictures that are going to make the headlines of the newspaper. And, but you don't want to be the headline yourself, right? So you don't want to die. You don't want to be,
Right.
but,
Yeah.
but it's set in a city like very, very similar to like New York, right? To the likes of like New York. So you have to navigate like these abandoned streets. You enter into buildings, all the buildings that you can enter, like lit up with green, glowing, little scary lights. So you know what to look for. And you go in, it's dark. You just have if you don't have a flashlight, then you're just walking around in the dark, and there's alleyways, and this whole time you got to watch out for monsters that are lurking and entities, but you also want pictures of them. You want to make some headlines. So the whole point of the game is when you get the helicopter and land in this city, you get 10 minutes to get the best photos you can as a team. And your goal is to progress to the next level where you earn more money and you can buy cooler things, better cameras, better gear, whatever it may be. But you only get 3 chances to meet the minimum threshold per round. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it blends elements of horror, humor. I mean, everybody's laughing the whole time, no matter, even in random lobbies. They're fun as hell. You can pick up severed limbs. Like you can pick up severed limbs and pose with them, like during your photo sessions. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's got a lot of positive feedback, bro. Like it's I think it's labeled like overwhelmingly positive on Steam. So it's a great co-op game. Great with friends.
Yeah.
Great just to chill
You know,
out, be high and whatever. Been fun though. You should get it. It's
it
fun.
sounds like an adult version of Pokemon Snap.
Probably pretty much. Gotta get back into Split Fiction too. We were supposed to play
Yes.
You asked me to play last night, and I was already the only one person I play with on the headline was like, "Hey, can you get on and play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get on and play." And shout
No
out,
worries. I
shout out
think,
Ken Masters.
yeah.
But
We'll get back into it.
tonight, man, we're freeballing this episode like a rogue Skyrim build. No set topic, just whatever the Kush gods send down the pipeline. But one thing that I do think about, man, and I'm wondering if you ever think about, is we've been talking about these games. Which video game character out of anybody you've played with, or any you can imagine, really, who would you like to get high with out of a video game character? I know we did a couple episodes of like historic people or big, but like video game people. Who would be cool to get high with? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, Mario, right?
Yeah.
It's me, Mario. Jump down some tunnels with him.
There is some fanfic, I'm sure, of just the it's the Mushroom Kingdom, so it kind of lends itself But I don't know. Like, what is Mario's personality? Like, you just assume like he's like a good guy while he's like stepping on turtles and Goombas and just killing shit. And they're not actively after him. They're just going through their life, and Mario's like, no, fuck you. We're gonna make some turtle soup.
Well, but
I just
technically those
Is
those
Mario
things
the
are
bad guy?
well, technically those things are coming from Bowser after him. So they're put in place to stop him from
You're
getting to
going down
Princess
like one of
Peach.
those, here's the thing I saw too. Maybe Princess Peach is like into it, that Mario is just in here trying to be a homewrecker.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've seen some Mario's been lampooned so many times that I've seen every opinion of the Mushroom Kingdom from different sides.
So let me say this
Luigi
then.
to me sounds like more of a fleshed out character with his mansions and shit.
I'd like to get high with the Mario world.
Okay.
Any of them. Maybe hit some Rainbow Road and shit. Whatever. And just race around, have fun.
For sure. Yeah.
Especially with the new one getting ready to drop here soon. My God, dude. You can ride freaking cows and stuff. Like, yeah, I'd be high as shit riding a cow through the sky and making it fart, make me go faster, like we did on that one. They took that from I think they took that from Split
That's Split
Fiction.
Fiction.
But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
Now I have time to think, I would say Edward Kenny from Assassin's Creed 4 is the pirate ship one. So you're out on the high seas in the Caribbean, just, sharing a blunt with this murdering assassin who is a fully fleshed out character. He's got, he's not the nicest guy in the world, but, he doesn't take shit, and kind of a cool guy. Often regarded as the best Assassin's Creed. Certainly of the ones I've played. That is
You know
true.
what I just noticed? What is that? What is
What's
that
that?
tapestry you have behind you?
I have a problem.
What is
I
it?
am fully obsessed with the Elden Ring now. So I believe this,
My God.
spent a couple bucks on a tapestry of, I believe that's the burning of the Erd Tree. You're just
I
watching
was
it go
thinking
down at
it
the end of the
was
game.
I was thinking it was Elden Ring.
I've just
It
I
makes
hit
me
some sort of threshold where I'm so goddamn strong now.
it makes me think, what's one game that everyone seems to love that you just can't get into, even if you're high? Because honestly, I always hear Elden Ring, right? I respect it. I love the art. The lore is deep, but I guess some people get their asses handed to them so many
It's a
times
goddamn
they
beautiful
rage
game.
quit and smoke an entire eighth just to emotionally recover. I mean, the game does punish you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you owe it
It
child
is a
support.
punishing.
So, but I always hear that. But one game, like, I don't know, like Fortnite for me is one, like everybody's in Fortnite.
Fortnite came to my mind too.
I can't get into
I've played it. I've gotten
I
maybe
tried.
fourth one time, when I just run from everyone and it came down to me and just a few others. I was like, oh my God, this is the furthest I've ever gotten. And then I was like,
Fucking hide at
got fucked up by a
the
12-year-old or something.
hide at the edge of the circle or some shit, at the very edge the whole time, just moving with the map, hoping everybody else takes everybody else
Yep.
out. Hey, that's one way to play.
Yep.
Especially if you don't like killing people. You know what I mean? You win the right way.
But I get killed sometimes before I even touch the ground. There'd be somebody, they speed rush down, they get a gun, and then they're just picking off paratroopers, before
And
you
some
even get
people,
down there. But
I don't know.
that
I
game is
respect the
but
players.
it's huge. Yeah. I'm
I
sure
saw they
there's like
have it.
e
I just saw
tournaments
they
and
have
stuff like
what's
that.
her face is getting ready to be on that game. They have everybody on that game now, but that Sabrina Carpenter, that big pop singer now, the next Taylor Swift is what they're saying. Like she's in the game or some shit.
She's huge right now, yeah. Like her like aesthetics, or she's actually like a player.
But she's a character and player and has a concert on there or some shit. I don't know. Like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I see, because I see clips of people playing it. They're all like Peter Griffin
Yeah, I've
or
seen
something.
different things. Yeah. I mean, they got everybody in it now. I mean, just like Call of Duty. Call of Duty's got everything from Ninja Turtles to Terminator to whatever. Fortnite has all the same type of shit. So,
Oh, that's really an example of like a free game. Because I don't think you have to pay any money to play it,
it's free.
which
Yeah,
is why like a lot of kids. And then, but they all those in-game purchases, the
all the skins,
$5.99 suit, the other
characters,
not
the
suit, skin, I guess.
the emotes and the sprays and all that stuff. Yeah, man. Microtransactions. That's how they make their money. Microtransactions, which
Yeah,
nowadays really
and
aren't
it
so
becomes one
micro.
of the most pop. Well, yeah, sometimes I don't even know what the prices are for Fortnite. I guess I could look, but
Ain't gonna lie.
it's
I just spent like $50 on in-game credit on the new WWE 2K25. So it is what it is. Every game's got stuff to
As
buy
soon as
now.
I look up Fortnite item shop, Sabrina Carpenter, 2,000 V-Bucks off, a sweet little bundle with her emotions, purse, a way to skydive. And it's just all about her. Oh, and Coachella. So I don't know what a V-Buck costs, but I imagine it's 10 cents maybe $1. I can't imagine spending $3,000 though. I'm like,
So what did you say it was? 2,000? So usually that'd be about $20, 24 to or $20 to $25 in real money. Is about roughly what most transactions.
Yeah, to buy the bundle, 2,000 V-Bucks off for a total of 2,800 V-Bucks. So
okay, so that's
like
about
$28 or
$35.
something.
That's about 30, yeah, about
$35, yeah.
30, 35, depending
That's
on.
ridiculous.
See what I'm saying? How they're making that money though? You know how many people buying that shit? Think of how much money they're making.
Yep.
That's why I like games like these indie games, like the headliners. But shit, we got to come back. Hold up. Stop. I got to come back to something. Pong.
Lady Gaga.
Pong.
Tell me about Pong.
There's this game on Steam, and you can get it. It's called Free Sample, but it's called Schedule 1. Have you heard of it?
But I can look
Bro, it's co-op. You're drug dealers. Schedule 1 drugs. So you start off as a weed grower, but in the game, you can visit an arcade and play Pong. You play Pong on the screen.
I love that.
And if you're high, it makes it even harder. It makes
Schedule
you
1.
feel like it's, great game.
Trailer started playing.
Do you
From a small-time dope pusher to a kingpin manufacturer and distribute range of drugs throughout the city of Highland Point.
Do you remember the old drug game where you like met with a dealer, or you could buy some like crack or and go to visit little different cities? It was it wasn't even 8-bit. It was just a on-screen game with like similar to Oregon Trail. You remember that? I think it was called like Dope Wars.
That was not
a
game that I played.
Look up Dope Wars. You ever heard of
Oregon
Dope Wars?
Trail.
I think it's Dope Wars. Dope Wars. Dope Wars.
Dope Wars Mean Streets. Free, but coming soon.
No, just Dope Wars. It's a classic. Dope Wars classic. You can even play it on.
I mean, this
Reload.
is like regular Nintendo graphics, but like NES shit.
Yeah, bro, that game. This reminds me of that game. But you're actually walking around. You don't like in that game. You don't get to walk around. You just pick like you want to go to Manhattan. Do you want to go to the ghetto? Do you want to go here and try to sell crack, whatever you want to, or maybe heroin or meth or weed or whatever it may be. But now on this one, you got to
choose your
hustler,
shit. And you have you have different things that you sell, and you can join gangs, engage in shootouts, explore the underworld.
Yeah, and if you get shot, you gotta like run and like you gotta like either pay to heal yourself or try to stay away from the cops because they'll take everything you got. It's crazy.
There's like Chinese New Year dragons. That's wild.
Schedule 1 reminded me of that. Schedule 1, you got to go and buy seeds of your strain. Like I've grown some Granddaddy Purple and some green crack. I grew some sour diesel, and then you can start mixing it with stuff. Like you grow it, you have to plant your seeds, you have to water it, you have to do everything, and then you harvest it. You got to trim it, put it in baggies, you sell it up.
That's a farming simulator.
It's dude, it's everything. But then you can take that and then you go to the local little store and then you can buy codeine or, Sleepy Mess, or you can buy Red Bull and you buy a mixing machine and then you go and mix your shit. You could like one of your strains and mix it. You come up with your own new strain. Now it's worth even more money because you came up with your own strain by mixing stuff. So it's fun. And then you end up, as you get bigger, you can hire dealers. So they'll do it for you. You can just give them all the supply and they'll deal it all out. You just collect your money. Like, dude, and they say if you have somebody to play with, you can do it as a pair and run. I don't know. I've never done it with anybody. I've been playing the free sample by myself. So it's fun as hell, though.
I get these ads.
It's addicting.
It's funny
as fuck.
that you mentioned that. Yeah. Yeah, because there are games, and like I'll see like an ad for like something I'm playing, and it's like play this game for a little bit. And so one of them is like a Farmville type stuff where you harvest corn and you give the corn to your chickens, and the chickens lay eggs, and you sell the eggs.
You sell the eggs to
so
the
like
people? Yes.
it sounds like that, but it's like all drug related, because you can purchase upgrades and do anything faster.
Yes, exactly it. Speaking of ads,
instead of harvesting tomatoes, you're harvesting butts.
Yeah, I was on the throne earlier, and I was playing a game, and an ad came up. Do you ever get frustrated or anxiety or anything with ads? So let me explain what I'm talking about. I'm
Does
sitting
get
here, right?
frustrated, yeah, for sure.
And like I'm waiting on this ad, usually like halfway through the ad, you can skip it, you know what I'm saying, and move on, whatever. Well, the ad is like the game that I've actually played on my own called Royal Kingdom. And it's like you match colored
Yeah, you
blocks
told
and
me
you're
about that.
trying to save the king. And the ads, they're not picking the right color blocks. And I get so fucking pissed. I'm like, he's going to die. You
Dude.
just have to move it right there.
Dude.
And it's done. What are you doing?
That is a tactic. I swear to God, that's a tactic because it does. Because I've seen with that one and a couple others. Well, they will like kind of fuck up on the game, and what I think is that makes you be like, I could do that. I could do that so much better than this
Right,
fucking
it has
ad
to be.
did.
It's
And
fucking
then
psychological
so then you
shit.
download and you're like, look how good I am at this shit.
Because another good example is that fucking game with the gun. Like it drops you in a map and you have to dodge these barrels and there's people and they purposely go to the wrong one that like takes away half their team. And it's like fucking idiots.
Right.
Like, and then they let you play for like 10 seconds to prove that you can do
all
it.
a tactic.
Psychological warfare.
That's their whole thing. Because I feel like if they had ones, if you look at the flip side of that, where if there was ever was an ad, it was like, look how good this person is at something. You're like, oh, it might take a while to get there. I don't know if because you like all a lot of phone games are just that instant dopamine serotonin hit, and you don't want to have to like grind and get good at like a mobile app or something. You just want people play it because they just get these very quick kind of interactions, and that's like their point. But
you know what?
It's all tactics.
Speaking of games, I'm going to take it back on you, man. You like board games? You remember board games, right? You always play board games.
All right. Tons of board games.
Yeah. All right, Monopoly. Play Monopoly.
Right.
Did you see there's a Monopoly reality series coming to Netflix? They're bringing the game live.
Hold up,
bro.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, so let me read you what it let me find what it is. It says the synopsis from Hasbro, right? For the forthcoming Monopoly competition series describes it as a large-scale social experiment contest. Strategy, alliances, and cutthroat competition will collide as contestants battle for fortune and navigate the fine line between capitalism and chaos. Players will test their friendships, acquire riches, and try to own it all by any means necessary. Bro, that sounds fun as shit.
So are we watching people play Monopoly?
Yes. It's the live Monopoly game. Yeah. So like, you remember how they did the live Squid Games?
I'm a little intrigued.
You know how they did the live Squid Games?
No, I missed that.
Oh yeah, they did a live Squid Game. So it was like all that. Yeah.
Makes
They're going to do the same thing, live Monopoly. So, or like, just think of how they did some of the board games they bring to TV. You know what I'm saying? Like the board games that are now TV shows, game shows or whatever that were board games. So
no, I wonder how they're going to do that. Like if everything is like, Vermont Avenue is like, I don't know, an actual.
Oh, yeah, Park Place. Give me Park Place.
Yeah.
Or Welcome Park Place.
Visually, what is that going to look like? I can't imagine it's just people rolling dice on a board and you get like a bird's eye view shot or something like that.
If anybody can do it, it's Netflix. Netflix is becoming a powerhouse, bro.
They are raising the bar.
Did you see that? So I don't know. Do you watch UFC or anything at all?
Not typically. But
so UFC's I've always been big into UFC.
Into that.
And, before the days, it used to be, I'm sure you remember this, back when you had to have cable to buy a pay-per-view, whether it was a movie or a fight, boxing match, whatever it may be. When UFC started doing their pay-per-views, that's how they work. Then it was like that all the way up until like 2020, somewhere right in there, maybe 2015. Maybe it was a 10-year deal. They did a deal with ESPN to where they would host their pay-per-view events, right? So when they did that, not only now did you have to buy the pay-per-view, you also had to buy a subscription to ESPN Plus to be able to watch the pay-per-view. And that's how it's been forever.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Now, on the flip side, you have things like WWE, who always had pay-per-views before as well. You had to pay to watch WrestleMania, to watch the Royal Rumble. Those were paid, you had to pay to watch them. Then they did a deal with Peacock. So when you watch Peacock, if you have a subscription to Peacock, that shit's included. You don't pay an extra fee to watch that shit. So as long as you have that subscription to Peacock, you can watch your paid, pay-per-view events, which wrestling they call paid live events now is what they call them. They're not paid because, they're technically paid because you have to pay for the subscription. That's the whole point behind it. What I'm getting at is ESPN and UFC have been paying, doing this thing. You have to pay. They jumped the fucking prices up drastically. It's like fucking $80 a fight now, which is just crazy as it is. And the cards have been, they haven't been, they're always good, but they haven't been great for a while. And I'll be honest, it's been since Conor McGregor left, pretty much, I think. But either way, the point is they're doing a new deal. This deal with ESPN expires this year, 2025, at the end of the year. And all signs are pointing they're going to Netflix. And if that's the case, they're speculating all the pay-per-views will be included. You won't have to pay extra because that's not how Netflix works. That's worked yet for anything. Even that Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight on that, you didn't pay extra for that. You know what I'm saying? So
It was just on Netflix.
that'd be pretty cool.
But
Like I
they've
said,
been
that's
slowly dipping their feet in the water of live TV, and it was a rough start for them. There was a couple live stuff where they just had an error screen on. It's like, oh, we can't get it
that was the
synced up and
Tyson Jake Paul
everything.
fight. That they had a lot of glitching during that because 65 million people were trying to watch, and that's unheard of on Netflix at one time. You know what I mean? Now they've got it all fixed. Since WWE is in there, dude, they're spot on. But they're picking up a
NFL
lot of
football
sporting stuff
is on
now. They got
there.
NFL. They just signed a contract with MLB to host some games. They just signed a contract with FIFA to host the FIFA fucking games on Netflix. So Netflix is
I
becoming a
watched the
big
Ravens
player in the
beat
game, bro.
not out of the Texans on Christmas.
On
That
Netflix.
was Jesus on Netflix.
They are. They're becoming a huge player, but I feel like they're becoming just another giant cable company. You're still paying a monthly fee. You're paying but they have everything: movies, TV, sporting events, live TV, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like everything comes circle. I think we're going back to I don't know.
It could. I did pay $150 for cable the last time I paid for it, which is probably 2015, and you did, and that didn't give you anything extra. There's no, I mean, maybe now you can get deals where like Peacock or Netflix or whatever is included,
They have all that.
but still, I mean, if I'm paying, if you just say a streaming service is $20, which not all of them, very few of them are, I would have to have like 8 streaming services, which I do not have, to get back up to what I was paying before for just cable. And I got
Well,
like, YouTube TV or something, which $40 a month. Like that's my like cable, but it's like
yeah, but all that,
just
everything's going up every
pennies
year.
compared to before.
It's all going
Yeah.
up though. Like,
Well, that's how cable companies get you too. Then they'll raise your price because they assume you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to negotiate their deals and stuff. And so then you need to be like, oh, I'm leaving, and they're like, oh, we'll see what we can. It's a whole song and dance routine, and you can complain like, streaming services are rising and becoming more exclusive, and that is an issue. But cable was it was not worth it.
Yeah, it eventually became just too much. Speaking of Netflix, have you watched any of the new Black Mirror?
Nope.
New season of Black
No,
Mirror?
but I
Not
have
yet.
heard some amazing things.
Like I said, I haven't ever watched it, but I do want to watch this. I just catching up on White Lotus now.
So a lot of what they do is like playing with consciousness. Like, what is consciousness? How can you, look at it from different vantage points and stuff? And one of the ones that they're doing a callback to, which I think is the first time there's ever like a sequel on Netflix, at least that, or on Black Mirror, is there's a kind of a knockoff of Star Trek where there's the USS Callister is the name of the ship. And they had a couple seasons back a guy working on this kind of side project where he could like beam himself, through like virtual reality into this game and just be like a real dickish boss. Jesse Plemons was kind of they just made these AI kind of people worship him, but they had sentient like consciousness. Like they were just kind of, twiddling their thumbs until he came back in the game, and then he would take them on this mission because he could only control the ship and stuff. And then eventually somehow they were able to kill him. And now there's a ship, and they're in the open web, and so they're doing an adventure with them again, and that was like one of the best episodes I think I've ever seen. So I'm looking forward to the USS Callister part for sure. But if you it's a good watch, especially if you're leveled up a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a couple ones that are like, nah, but like they're all like kind of interesting. But one thing I'm jazzed about.
Have you seen that is it Life, Death, and Robots or something like that? The cartoon anime on Netflix. It has they're coming back with a new season of it.
Love it, Death and Robots. Is that
Whatever
it?
it is, something like that. They're coming back with a new season. That each episode.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've watched it though.
Yeah, each episode's its own little anthology, type things. Pretty cool.
It's like a futuristic kind of thing.
Yeah, setup.
one thing I was looking into is the Switch 2,
Dude, I got it
where
ready for pre-order. I'm signed up on all
I
of them to
have a
get a
lot of mixed
notification.
feelings. June 5th is the date that they're supposed to start shipping. So
Switch is
I'm
less than a month
probably gonna
away.
order mine. Yeah. So I think I may get a pre-order, but I'm looking at some of the games and some of the the accessories that are coming out with it. A lot of the games are like kind of similar to the Switch 1, but just like the Switch 2 version of like Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, they
And
upgraded a lot of them to the new processor.
yeah.
Yeah. Sort of how
Yeah. So
PlayStation did with a lot of their games at first.
right. And so I have Breath of the Wild, I have Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know, like, am I gonna spend another 50, $60 for the same game, but on like another processor? Like, I don't think there's anything really all that different to it. So
Bro, it's
I
got
don't
Elden
know how I
Ring
feel
on
about
it.
that. Shut up. No, I didn't see that. Does it?
Dude, it's not Elden Ring. It's the game just like Elden Ring. It's from Fluffware. They're on there. It's also getting
What's it?
Cyberpunk. It's getting
It's got
everything, man.
Cyberpunk. It's got Mario Kart World,
But
which I
just
think I'm
Mario
the
Kart, no,
most
that's the bundle
intrigued
I'm getting.
about.
That's the bundle. That's what you got to get. You got to get the bundle. That's the bundle.
Maybe I look into it. So it's a
Switch to in the
24
bundle.
player Mario Kart World. Like they've already do it. They're adding games to the Mario Kart now on Switch, Mario Kart 8 or Infinity or something like that.
Yeah. That's what we got.
Where like
We still need to
you
add
go
each
back
other
to
on
it and it's
there
like,
so we can
hey,
play.
for sure, dude. Yeah.
We keep saying that, but we
But
never have yet.
we'll get on it.
But either way, I get what you so yeah.
I'm not
adding
playing
stuff
Mario
to
Kart
it?
a lot. I play it mostly with my wife. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
no, that's what I'm
so
saying.
like
It's only me
I
and her.
played
Like
it a
when she
lot when
wants
it
to
came
play,
out.
but if we had somebody to play with, we'd play it more often. You know what I'm saying? It's just fun to every now and then get on and
Yeah.
be high and just play some games.
Yeah, and they added all these new courses, and the start of every course was like a new city. So you go around like Rome, the Colosseum, or Tokyo,
Yeah, we played
Madrid,
those. Yeah, we've been playing that.
London, New York City.
Yeah.
Like it's Athens, Greece, like ancient Greece. And I was like, oh damn, like this is like
It's been
visually
fun. Yeah, and wait for the
great.
new one. The new one's going to be even visually better.
Well, Mario Kart World, I feel they're going to take that theme and just, you'll have so many different cities, so many different cars. Like that's going to start to have some like crazy tournaments where I think I heard like if you are the last four before a certain time, or like the last four to finish a race, then you get eliminated, and then they'll do it down to 20, 16,
Nice.
12, 8, 4.
Okay.
So they have like these elimination modes, and I was like, that's kind of cool. That's not something that usually people have to kind of figure out their own way to keep it competitive, like when you got a group of people around to play.
Yeah,
but
because a lot of people wait for that
is
bullet.
the one I'm looking at.
They want that bullet at the end to be able to stay in the back the whole time and then blast through at the very end and take the win.
Yeah, and they
Sneaky
had steering
people.
wheels for it. $20. You just put that kind of joy controller, and then I've never played with one of those, but I imagine
I only ever played with like
maybe
the
there's some
Xbox
benefit
style
of it.
controller. That's all I've ever played with.
Nice.
That's all I've ever played with.
And they have a
since
video chat.
That'd be cool. I'm excited for Donkey Kong, bro. Donkey Kong 3D. That's gonna be cool as shit. I love Donkey Kong. Throwing barrels of
Donkey
people down
Kong
the stairs.
64 was a fantastic game.
That's what I'm saying.
Had
I
a
can't
yellow
wait. This
cartridge. Yeah.
This new one's gonna be fun.
And it was
as shit.
it was in depth. Like you would spend hours like just unlocking the different Kongs, because only certain Kongs had different abilities. Like as a kid, that game took me like years to just grind through and get all the golden bananas, and then
fun as shit though.
defeat
Yeah, it was fun.
the alligator guy. Yeah. No, but I'm optimistic.
I'm excited
because
for
they
it.
have some real. They got Split Fiction on it, and Civilization 7, which is a massive game to put on a console. But I know that I know they've done the other ones before, but Civ 7 is just there's so much to it. Maybe that's where it's at.
I'm definitely gonna grab one if I can.
Yeah, I mean, I
Donkey
hear
Kong
people
Bonanza.
moving to Japan
And
or
bro,
trying to
Metroid
buy it out
Prime?
there.
They have Metroid Prime 4 coming to it. So the Switch edition, the Switch 2 one. So I'm excited.
Yeah, they have something called Survival Kids. I think that's it's another co-op. Like these co-op games, It Takes Two, Split Fiction. Like I think this may be like a new kind of genre where cannot play by yourself.
Dude, you know why? It's a new poll came out, and the majority of people prefer co-op player games instead of multiplayer now, and it's probably the toxicity in multiplayer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It's definitely got something to do with it for sure, but it's actually kind of sad because that's what got me into gaming so much was the minute multiplayer came out with, I remember my first multiplayer was SOCOM 2, or not SOCOM 2, it was SOCOM on PlayStation 2. I couldn't get enough of it when I was able to play with somebody else from fucking who knows where. So much fun. Now that people ruin it, man.
But yeah, StarCraft, Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, like all the
Like a good
online play, like I
co-op.
was like, oh, this is amazing. And then like during the pandemic, like I would get some friends back there and we have like some 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, and like, and you're all like just like kind of shit talking the whole time, but and it's just like this like space game, like you don't take it too seriously,
See, that's why, you
but
know what, man? That's
it's
exactly
fun, you know.
why. That's exactly why I play things now. I feel like the headliners. It's multiplayer. It's 4 people, right? But ain't nobody on there talking shit and worry about. You're just there to have fun. If you die, whoopsie fucking do. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. Move on to the next round. You know what I mean? It's like it's just you don't really have to care, but it's so fun because you can just have fun. Okay, well, guess what, Paul, you died. Now I'm thinking taking your body. I'm gonna throw it at a monster and get a picture of that with your body hitting it. You know, just funny shit. You know, it's just. But the multiplayer, man, I
Yeah,
haven't touched Call of Duty in well over a month, maybe 2 months. I just haven't. I didn't. I got
yeah.
tired of
There's
the
so much other stuff
online
out there.
drama shit, and yeah, so I like these little like indie co-op games and stuff. Like Split Fiction started, you know, or actually it started with me with that Chain Together, and when I saw that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Wish I
remember
do
telling
that.
me about that.
Then I tried It Takes Two, and that was fun. Then Split Fiction came out. We've started, and then things like even like Liar's Bar, right? 4 people, you're just having fun. Who cares what happens?
Yeah,
Or
I
like I
wonder.
said, it's crazy. Yeah, I think it's shifting. A lot's shifting to that. And they're cheap games. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
there
A lot of these
anything that's
games you
like
can get for
gaming's
15, 20
being?
bucks.
Yeah,
Because wait, let's go back to your Switch 2. They're setting a new precedent. $80 fucking dollars for a physical copy of a game. That's how much they're charging. If you want a physical copy of a game, it's $80. Crazy.
now I imagine they'll still have the Nintendo store, which is kind of
Yeah,
like
it's
the
all
Steam store.
they're
That, you know,
still
they have
50.
sales and things like
No,
that.
they're if you buy them on there, they're 50. But if you buy the fucking physical, it's 80. I think they're trying to save. They don't want nobody wants to buy and pay to manufacture physical games. You know what I'm saying? When everything can be.
Have you been to a gaming section in like Best Buy or like a PC gaming section, especially?
I mean, I've been through them, not really in them. No, like I just
I
glanced
went to
through
one a couple
Best
years
Buy.
ago.
That's about it.
And I was like, oh, all of this is like game cards for like in-game purchases. There was a couple hard copies of stuff, but a lot of it was just kind of like accessories
Yeah.
that you would
Yep.
buy. A lot of games like weren't on the shelves. And I was thinking about, I was like, oh shit, I love like looking at all the PC games and things coming out, and like it's not, I mean, you could find it elsewhere, but just not hard copies to browse through at
Dude,
stores.
everything's digital
You can still do
nowadays.
that with some console stuff, but not PC.
And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want a physical copy in their hand, you know, because whatever reason, but I don't mind. Everything I do is digital for the most part. It don't matter to me
I mean, I
either
do
way.
tons of digital downloads. There is something sort of nostalgic, you know. You got a new console,
Yeah, no,
you
no, for
know,
sure.
or you know, going out there reading the back and be like, "Is this something I'd like?" And
Hell,
then you know, like, "Dad, can I have this?" You know.
switch gears to music. Every bit of music you listen to nowadays is pretty much digital, right? You go out and buy CDs. Do you buy most? Most people don't. But I pre-ordered and bought, you know, Sleep Token's new album. I already got a physical vinyl copy. I don't even have a turntable, but I wanted that just nostalgic vinyl copy to have, you know, as like memorabilia more than anything. Played just fine, but I just wanted something to have, like you said, you know, for memorabilia. But most music, nobody
Yeah,
pays
yeah,
for
no,
music
absolutely.
nowadays. You remember the days of paying for music? So it started with cassette tapes, right? Yeah, that's what I remember. Cassette tapes. I don't go back to eight
Yep,
tracks. I
yep.
remember
That's
cassette
when I
tapes.
was young. Yeah,
Then it went to CDs, right? Then you got your first little digital MP3 players and the iPad and all that shit. And then they started selling the music for like prices per song, right? Like $1.99, $2.99,
yeah.
$3.99, whatever it may be. Or maybe
Looking
you had
back, that's so crazy.
and now everything's at like a push of a button. Like you go to YouTube, you can listen to anything you fucking want. You go to Apple Music, you can listen to anything you want. I mean, nothing, you don't pay for any of it.
Spotify Premium is like what, 10, $12 a month or something, which, you know, again, it all adds up to whatever. But it, to me, I was like, not
Yeah,
only
but
do I
even
get
then,
any song ever made, podcasts, audiobooks,
at 10
I
bucks,
listened to
even
the
at 10 bucks
entire
a month,
Witcher series.
that's $120 a year for unlimited music and everything at your
Yeah, like
fingertips.
media access. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Who cares? Under the days of paying $20 a CD for an album that you wanted like 2 songs on. You know what I'm saying? Like there were plenty of albums, especially out now, that just most of the songs are trash on, bro. Like some singles come out and that's good, but not Sleep Token. Not Sleep Token. Every song's been a banger, bro. Every song takes you on a journey. They don't define themselves as a genre. That's the thing I like about them. There's no genre. You can go through 5 genres in one song. I mean, a new song that they
Damn.
the
Yeah,
last song
I've heard you talk about them.
download. Listen to the song
I'll probably
Caramel.
I have to check them out. Yeah.
Just listen to the song
Caramel.
Caramel. That's their latest single that came out. Well, yeah, I don't know when this will be airing in May. They might come out with a new one before then, but either way, that's only a couple weeks. I think I would have heard by now, but Caramel, and it'll take you through. That starts off like a Latin style, like poppy style song, and then takes you through this sad, feeling, and then takes you into this hard thrash, death scream metal, to then mellowing out and ending with like saxophone. So it's just crazy. They're anonymous.
Yeah, because I feel like there's certain genres that people are into, and then like no one or very few people, I would say, are like, oh, I like all genres. I like fucking classical music and thrash metal and country and folk and pop.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
all right.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's exactly me. If y'all saw my playlist, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like right now, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to pull, okay, I got it pulled up. Let me tell you something. Let me just show you what like just came up. So first is the song, what's funny, Caramel, Sleep Token, right? Right after that is Rascal Flatts and Blake Shelton with Mayberry, right? Then right after that,
country, yeah.
Right after that is the song Your Name Forever, which is MGK, which was in tribute to a guy that just passed away, good friend of his. Then right after that is Chapel Roan. Okay? You see where I'm
Pink
going
Pony
here?
Club?
Listen, then right after Chapel Roan is Wu-Tang Clan. Yep. And then right after Wu-Tang Clan, I'm not going to go anymore after this one, but just right after Wu-Tang Clan is Charlie XCX. So there's so much more after that.
Damn, man, that's great. I love that for you.
Frank Sinatra. Come on.
There you go.
I listen to everything. It's because I like music. That's why I play the drum. I like playing the drums.
Right. So I didn't want to say no one. That's a very eclectic taste.
Because my wife's like, how do you
songs
do that?
Of different genres.
My wife's just like, she likes R&B. That's her thing. She likes R&B music. That's her favorite.
Nice. Yeah. I'm more of like a rap, punk rock kind of guy. And I don't deviate too much from that. Like there's some pop music I like. There's some country songs I like. But
bro, there was a song that came out recently. I don't know if you've heard it. Like I said, I listen to everything. And there's a guy that's he's not huge in the country scene, but he's up and coming. He's huge for writer. Like he's a big country writer. He's wrote songs for everybody you can think of, from Morgan Wallen to Hardy to everybody. I mean, anybody you can name, pretty much. Lainey Wilson. His name is Ernest. You ever heard of him? Ernest.
That's Ernest.
That's his name,
no.
Ernest. So when I heard Ernest the first time, I started thinking, you remember Ernest, the movies back in the day? Ernest Goes to Prison, Ernest Halloween. You remember that shit?
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I guess if you look it up, you do remember exactly what it was.
I feel like I've seen that. Yeah. That was an unlocked memory there.
So he's a country guy either way, but he just released a song with Snoop, and Snoop's countrying it out. So I think Snoop's coming out with a country album. I think Snoop's going to be coming out with a country album soon. Snoop's in everything, bro. He does everything now. Unc's into it all, bro.
He's like the mascot of America. And with the Olympics, I'm sure he'll be back for the winter ones.
Yeah,
But that's great. I think everyone should expand their musical taste. I went on a road trip one time to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Big destination, just to kind of hang out with my friend. He was going on a job interview.
You call that a road trip?
And we said
from Frederick,
2 hours there, 2 hours back. Well, from Baltimore,
okay.
but and like I learned some stuff. But on the way up there, we're like, let's listen to a different genre every single song, and went through probably 20 genres from rock to pop to gospel to classical, like old time kind of like Frank Sinatra, things like that. Just you name it, a genre. We're trying to like find like what else can we listen to that's different. I had a great time, a lot of great music, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should get more into like country music or more into to rap or something, hip hop. But no, it was a little bit. to some music I was missing.
So I've always had a very eclectic taste in music, but not as much as I have now, because the reason being, I have come to appreciate what the artists themselves do for us. So I was never into the metal scene, right? The screaming, all that stuff. Now, after going to some of the concerts and just, first I got dragged away, I didn't even really know, it was the band, it was the first one I went, it was Disturbed
Nice.
and I think it was what's that group's name? Flyleaf. Do you remember Flyleaf from back in the day?
Hmm.
I'm so
Sure, yeah.
sick. Yeah, so it was a bunch of people, and that was my first band. I was like, I learned to appreciate the growl, but I forgot all about it because that was years ago. But recently, I heard, started listening I would say over the last couple of years, more metal because I started to appreciate what they can do with their voices and their vocal range, especially the ones. Now, I don't like listening to the ones like you won't find no one plays anything. It's just straight up screaming the whole time. You know what I mean? Like that screaming
Hmm.
stuff. Don't like that. But
An
people like
entire
sleep.
song like that. First, your vocal cords, like
No,
Jesus Christ, but
even
yeah,
then, that's
it's
talent.
tough.
I got you, but I just can't listen to it. I have to be able to understand what you're saying for the most part. So things like Sleep Token or Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke, the lead singer of them, with the vocal range where they can sing ballads and you know, it's sort of like, think of Metallica and, people like that had ballads, they had hard songs, everything. That's what I like now, more of that because I just appreciate the range that they have. Like it takes so much just to have that much vocal range to be able to sing and do it. And then again, playing the drums, figure how hard it is for some of the stuff they do. And just all the musicians as a whole, it's crazy. That's why I've just listened to it all. I just take it all in. Like, man, they can do like I can hear all different styles within different styles. You can pick up the jazz, the blues, and metal, and rock and roll, whatever, country music. You can pick up
Yeah,
all
I
of
mean,
this
I
stuff.
started playing the guitar a little bit in high school, and it started to change. Like I could start to pick out some of the different riffs that like the bass was playing, or like the rhythm a little more. Like once you just like start to get into some of the like actual mechanics of music,
Yep.
it's just a little bit how you think about and hear about music. But
Anyway, on the Switch 2,
yeah,
man, you
no,
gotta look up the
that's really
Dusk
cool.
Bloods. Look up the Dusk Bloods on Switch 2.
Dust Blood. I'm writing so much stuff down.
The Dusk Bloods is the FromSoft game. So it's a spin on Dark Souls and Elden Ring. And that's for the Switch too. It looks wild, dude. It looks crazy.
God,
Like
so
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be good.
be like
Almost sure it's going to be multiplayer like the new Elden Ring, Night Ring. So, or not multiplayer, but co-op because it's not really multiplayer. But you could have people help you.
all right. This looks good. This
Right.
is very Elden Risk or
Yep.
Elden Ring
Esque.
from
Elden Ring
from
esque.
software. So yeah,
Yep. So I
coming
said.
exclusively to Nintendo Switch next year. All right. Well, yep. I'm gonna have to get into that. That
See,
that looks
told you,
great.
man. There's so many good things coming to it. I get it's not going to be your fucking Xbox or PlayStation, right? But for them to do what they're doing now in that little handheld, I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's
Keep
gonna
doing
be
what
a
you're
little
doing,
bit bigger
Nintendo.
and just very expensive though. Yeah. Well, I think that they realize, they're not Microsoft, they're not Sony. They're their own thing, and they may have been the first, but they're kind of unique in a way. I mean,
Yep.
I don't own a PlayStation or Xbox, but it looks like my friend has a PS5 and he just controls like so much stuff from his like controller for the TV. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go and buy a PS5 for that, but it does. I was like, that's cool. You're kind of like
You can pretty
integrating
much do
everything
anything
together.
you want with any electronic you got in your house now. They're all connected in some way. If you have an electronic, you have something, you have it. I get the people that are like, oh, I don't have no Alexa in my house. Well, do you have a smart TV? You have a cell phone? Then it already knows what you're doing. I mean, who the fuck cares? Add another one.
Yep.
Conspiracy theorists.
And it's always a bit unnerving when you just mention what something, monkey bread, and then you say, "Hey, you want these recipes for monkey bread?" And like an ad or something like the hell. Listening, now I'm probably gonna get ads from monkey bread
Yep.
because I've said it now twice, three
Probably.
times. Yeah.
I tell you, man, I'm like hyped up. But this is the last episode before I head to Europe.
Yes, dude.
Wait, it's the last episode before I go? I think it is. No, it's not. I think I got one more. I think we do one more before I head out.
I know you're going soon.
Yeah, but either way, yeah, I think we got one more episode before I go out.
Very excited for you. Your
I'm
trip
just
sounds
with
amazing.
all these crashes and all that stuff. I'm just trying to think about it. It's crazy. the stuff.
Just saw there's.
What else you got, man?
I'll bring
Anything
it
for
up.
tonight? Save it for the next
No,
one.
no, man. I think yeah, we'll save it for next week or next time. But nah, we'll have a few episodes in the can for when you're gone, and yeah, I'll be good. We'll be here.
Somebody will be here carrying on. Either way.
HLC.
Levelers, that's going to do it for this week's loosey-goosey ride through the land of pixels and puffs. No major theme, just vibes and volume. Like that one late-night couch convo you don't remember, but you feel it in your soul. Man. Make sure to hit us up.
It's great.
Let us know what you've been leveling up on. Game strains, shows, bull adventures, misadventures. We read all of it, even the weird DMs. Like people that say they want to see Paul shave his beard off.
You'll see that one day.
Either way. Catch us, highlevelchronicles.com. Follow us at HLC Podcast 420 on all your favorite social media. Tell a friend to tune in, especially if they've ever taken a dab and started a new game file at, 2 a.m. just to test it out. Either way. Till next time,
Guilty.
Stay leveled up. We are.
Thanks for listening to High Level Chronicles. See you